Hi, everybody. This is Elenbaas from Nightlight Astrology, and these are your sun and rising sign horoscopes for the month of September 2019. So this is the horoscope for Geminis. All right, so it's a big month for Geminis and really for everybody, and that's specifically because, let me move this forward. Let's get it to the first, and then let's get Gemini on the ascendant. There we go. Huge month for Gemini, specifically because big stellium in Virgo in your fourth house to start the month. That's a new moon that just happens at the August 30th, the very end of the month. And then the new moon energy, as well as a strong focus of planets in the fourth house, go all through September. The fourth house is, of course, a place of home, family, roots, foundations, the past, ancestors, the fate of fathers. It could be parents in general, but often fathers in particular, land, your foundation, what you stand on, what props you up. This foundational, earthy Virgo energy, also Mercury ruled, just like your Gemini rising. This energy this month has the potential to be very productive. You got a Mars Cazimi to start off the month. Mars conjoined with the sun at the heart of the sun. This is just the first and second of the month. Mercury is going to be in a trine to Uranus at the beginning of the month. There's this sense of being able to make deep, productive, maybe pretty simple changes to increase your feeling of efficiency or organization or clarity. You also may be working on the home or in the home or working on a home project. Issues around your home and your family, your relationships in your home and family with your parents or your kids could be emphasized this month. Moving could be emphasized, organizing, things like that. But it's really about kind of getting down to the roots and figuring out how to create a more efficient, simple, clean, organized, clear base from which to work in the world. Or you're looking at issues surrounding home, property, maybe the past or family karma. But that's what's really emphasized. Now, all month long, summarizing the month's astrology without needing to go into too much detail really is the square to Jupiter from all of these planets in Virgo and an opposition to Neptune in your 7th and 10th houses. So what is that all about? That's a big assortment of planets. Well, first of all, the Jupiter-Neptune square in general this month has been powering through for almost a year now in your chart. Jupiter in the house of relationships, and we have Neptune, on the other hand, in the house of career. So you're looking at the way in which your life, maybe particularly your relationships and your career, are expanding and changing, probably because of a new and inspired sense of hope for the future, a new inspired vision or plan. See, Jupiter, Neptune, for example, is associated with like the deep field of space that the Hubble telescope explores, those pictures that you see, right? It just has the effect of expanding your mind, expanding your heart, and expanding your imagination, and taking you beyond what you think is normal and into something fantastic, beautiful, right? So that energy is really strong right now in your 7th and 10th houses. Career destiny, relationships, new people in your life, new things that you're getting absorbed in. But now it's being pitted against needs or more earthy, practical, sort of everyday earthy needs in the home, in the family, at the roots. So that's how the T-square is playing out for most of the month of September. Now, this can also mean that you're trying to figure out the difference between what's practical, what's real, and what's an idealistic fantasy or dream. You may be meeting practical or critical resistance at home for a dream or hope or inspired plan or creative project. You could also be trying to basically take care of a lot of details and manage a lot of things in the home area of your chart of your life, while also, dealing with a lot of exciting new developments that, you want to fly with Jupiter, Neptune, but Virgo's like, there's a lot of details here. Sometimes the anxiety brings you down. Sometimes it keeps you honest. So you got to look at this T-square as something you're working all month long. Now, that's a quick summary of the strongest energies of the month that you're dealing with. Like at Mars Cazimi at the very beginning of the month, energizing you at the roots, potential to be very productive in the home or family. Issues around fathers could be really intense. You could also think about this as a moment where you're being empowered or given more responsibility, or there's a task that has to get done and you're like executing it, have to be really strong in order to do it. It's a very productive energy overall. You'll see that intensify that feeling of productivity, strength, power, authority, having to manage things, and maybe your relationship with other people or spouse or partner, and maybe some potential for some power struggles, something like that, between September 8th to 12th, when the Sun and Mars will square Jupiter in your 7th house of marriage. But also just the energy is very productive, and it just gets kind of a boost from Jupiter between the 13th and the 15th, or the 8th and the 12th, excuse me. So between the 8th and the 12th, you could look for like an energizing, practical, but also really expansive energy at once. Might hit around the home and relationship department at the same time too. Now, between the 13th and the 15th, if we take it forward a bit, let's go forward so we can see some of these. There we go. Between the 13th and the 15th, this is just after the Sun and Mars have gone through the square to Jupiter, which you can see there. Then you're going to see Venus and Mercury get together in Libra. This should be nice in terms of creating agreements, in terms of finding resolution if there's been any conflict, or of harmonious communication, making deals, finding friends, receiving beneficial news or information, learning something that can be productive or even lucrative. So Venus, Mercury just has this kind of like also ability to solve problems and fix things, mend or harmonize things. That should be really nice moving into your 5th house. It's a pretty creative and joyful place overall between the 13th and the 15th. Now, the full moon is in Pisces in your career house, really putting the spotlight on your career right around the 14th. So watch for professional issues around your professional life to be really more pronounced right around the middle of the month. And then finally, we go towards the end of the month and we get into the fall equinox. There we go. So you're going to see this occur right around the September 23rd. And then the rest of the month, you get through the 25th and 26th. Venus and Mercury will be making squares to Saturn and Pluto. The Sun will be in Libra for 30 days. And then on the 28th, there's a new moon in Libra as well. So this gets to be quite a lineup. Like you can see, here's the new moon coming through into Libra around the 28th. And all of these planets are then pushing through squares to South Node Saturn, Pluto in the 8th house. From the end, about the 23rd through the end of the month, and then all the way into October, we're talking about a period where karmic bills, karmic penalties, things that you owe people or that people owe you, and some kind of balancing karma, then you're facing things kind of like a necessary crossroad where things that have been imbalanced in different ways in the past will be either the scales will tip in the opposite direction, or there'll be some kind of leveling or balancing effect. The topics of justice, fairness, and also necessary, mature, serious events and people and things that need to happen. And then this idea of the balancing of Libra as well, really pronounced toward the end of the month. Remember, the 8th house is a place it's a place of karmic penalties and bills and debts. Also, it's what comes to us from other people that is somehow owed to us. So, squares from Libra planets in the house of good fortune to Saturn and Pluto in the South Node in the house of debts. Okay, so game on. So we'll see what that's like towards the end of the month. And then we'll come back and visit that in October as well. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it. If you like this, if you like it and share it with other people or subscribe, that helps me get my work out to other people. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.